What if I told you that you could turn this plain cardboard box into a professional looking package with just a laser? Today we're testing all kinds of packaging, including cardboard, mailers, envelopes, and tissue paper to see what looks best and what totally fails. Can we laser engrave all types of packaging? Let's find out. When I was looking into my business, I was looking up cool packaging and then I was like, oh, that's expensive. So this could be a cheap way to make your packaging look a little more special and creative if you have a laser already. Plus clients will dig it too. Are you ready to level up your business? Learn to offer a new service and do some super cool engraves? Stick around because we're getting started right now. We gathered a bunch of common packaging materials and we're going in depth on each so you can see the results. Today we'll be covering corrugated cardboard, non-corrugated cardboard, cardstock, paper, poly mailers, tissue, envelopes, and thermal labels. That's a big list, so let's break them down one by one. Corrugated cardboard is up first. We engraved this material on both the 5-watt UV and the We Create 20-watt diode. For the UV, we did a simple design using the Laser Everything logos, and after a few attempts, we got a few usable settings. We did expect the UV mark to be darker than what we ended up with, but overall, no complaints here. All UV machines are different, so you'll probably have to tweak these settings a bit, but they should make a great base point for jumping off. Next, we tested a bit with the We Create. We could have tested more, but unfortunately the We Create, which lacks bidirectional scanning, took way too much time with everything else we wanted to do this episode. Doing a big complicated design over an entire box would take quite a while compared to other machines. That said, we were happy with how it looked, though we should mention these settings did engrave quite deeply, and then the design ended up cracking and tearing a bit when the box was folded. We'd recommend reducing power if you plan to attempt this mark on your machine. Non-corrugated cardboard was a blast to use on a bunch of the machines. First up, the UV, which gave us much better contrast here than it did with the corrugated cardboard. It also took a lot less time than many of the other marks in this video, where larger, fuller patterns were displayed. The non-corrugated cardboard was also much easier to work with overall. Since the material doesn't have as many air gaps in the body of the material, we were getting defects and burned through far less often this time around. Next up, for the non-corrugated cardboard, we had the Ranger CO2 laser from Light Object. We like this mark quite a bit, but it was a bit harder to see than some of the other marks we're displaying today. Still, for those interested in more of a subtle packaging customization, the CO2 laser could be what you're looking for. One of the upsides to our experience with this is that we saw far less fragility in the packaging overall when the customization was complete. It's also worth noting that this process did take a fair amount of time, considering we did a 100% overlay on the packaging surface. Next up, cardstock mailers. These next tests were done on the X-Tool F1, and this fake logo was drawn up in a minute using the X-Tool Creative Space. We didn't anticipate good results with the IR module, so these tests utilized the blue light diode exclusively. The end result was wonderful. The major downside here is that the work area is simply too small for a lot of packaging needs. However, for simple branding requirements, like adding a logo to just a small area on your packaging, this could be the perfect tool. We did paper mailers on a wide range of lasers. Starting with the UV, we have some exceptional results to share, but be warned. Settings that are too high will probably eat through the paper to reveal the plastic padding inside. Also, if you're wondering if you can do photos, just ask Rick Astley. Make sure when you do your photos on this material to lower the gamma to the point where you don't have any pure white pixels. If you skip this step, your whites will display as untouched yellow mailer color, which won't look very nice. If you successfully eliminate all the pure white from the raster before marking, you can get some shockingly good raster images from this material. Paper mailers on the X-Tool turned out great as well. You're capable of achieving slightly better contrast with the blue light diode than you are with the UV, but you do have to be careful. In order to get those nice contrasty colors, you do walk the edge of burning the envelope, which is not what we want. Use these settings as a baseline and increase your power output until you achieve your desired results. The CO2 results were similar to the diode and UV results, but with the added benefit of the large bed. During these tests, we were able to do a few projects much larger in scale, resulting in more impressive looking and complete customizations. One of the surprise results from the UV laser was when we paired it with the typical poly mailers. We just had these black and pink mailers hanging around the shop and thought we'd throw them on at the last second. Turns out it was a great idea. Just take a look at these awesome marks we were able to achieve. The marks were clean and didn't take very long. It wouldn't be an episode about packaging if we didn't talk about the run-of-the-mill envelopes. They did work on the CO2 laser, though the mark was a bit light. Still, a mark is a mark, and it's cool to know this works. Additionally, we did mark paper envelopes extensively on the UV laser. It took some fiddling with the gamma and light burn to get the results we wanted. This panoramic mountain and lake scene we tried to engrave did eventually come out great. Once you get your UV laser settings dialed in, suddenly envelopes become a viable engraving product, and we think that's pretty cool. My personal favorite was the tissue paper. This was another surprising result. It was super fun, and we instantly got a bright white mark on the magenta tissue paper that really stands out. It marks with very little effort, low power, and high speeds, making it a great candidate for marking. Also, check it out. You can actually see the engraving on both sides, even if you only mark one. Here's a bonus material for you guys. That's right, thermal paper. You would think this would work on just about any of the machines, but UV is the only one we had any real success with. You get a very nice contrasting gray, and this is actually with the exact same settings we perfected for the poly mailers. Pro tip: try cutting out the outline around your thermal paper mark for a neat temporary sticker. It might be a little silly to do some of these because of the time it takes to do them when you could just pay for nice packaging. Adding a logo or a simple pattern can do a lot to spice up your packaging without costing you a dime. Additionally, while it's easy to print on, say, envelopes with a standard printer, you really can't jam a cardboard box into your inkjet. So I think there's some solid value here, and I hope it helps some of you out or inspires some cool ideas. Products from a laser engraving shop with even some simple laser engraved packaging could make a big difference in a customer's perception of your brand. Even if you don't ship often, at the very least throw a few of these on display on a shelf in your showroom. You never know who might think that laser marking on some packaging could be a great idea. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Laser Everything. If you got value out of this one, stamp that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you get notified the next time we post an episode. If you really liked this one, guys, consider signing up for our Patreon or the Laser Master Academy. It's an amazing way to support the channel so we can continue doing the work we love. If you want to support us, you can find out more about how to do that at lasereverything.net/support. I think that's all we've got. Thank you one last time for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one.